You see it. Federal Ranga on your ass. For those that are unfamiliar with me, I'm the biggest Ohoni's Federal Ranga. I know. Y'all miss me. Y'all fucking miss me. I didn't get to do my shit Monday because it was a bad fucking weekend, okay? My weekend was trash as shit. Super trash. Shouts to Bomb First Battlegrounds, Magic City Mike's, the whole live camp. You know, we just here. In case you forgot, this is Federal Ringer Draft, which stands for That's Real as Fuck, though. Like I said, I wasn't available Monday, but I'm here now. Whole Hoacha wasn't available Friday. We'll be back this Friday. We are on point. You did? But I digress. Let me see. What we gonna talk about tonight? Something that's been bugging me lately. Oh, let me tell my baby mama she to hold on for a second. Streaming a show on and YouTube. You gotta tell these women to leave you the fuck alone every now and then, okay? Anyways, yeah. So I had a very interesting conversation. I had a very interesting conversation with someone very close, near and dear to me over the weekend. And we were having a talk about something very important. It was kind of similar to, oh my God, why won't they just, all right. Oh, Jesus Christ. Hold on. God, just disrespecting. Hold on. Damn. And see, I was maybe going to stop talking about people interrupting you when you're in the middle of doing shit, but anyways, I digress. So I was having a very interesting conversation with someone very near and dear to me. And we all know what cancel culture is. If you don't know what cancel culture is, it's basically when someone does something and then an entire group of people who oppose what has happened tries to get that person, completely like wiped off the face of the earth. Like no deals, no endorsements, no support. Like basically, it's almost like a boycott, but solely for the internet because cancel culture doesn't really like harm any fucking body. But I wanted to talk more about something that was more important in my eyes, something a little akin to cancel culture, which I call quitting culture. Okay. Which more is on the far opposite end of the spectrum of the participation trophy for people who just should be praised for getting involved. Like fuck all that. I'm not with that. The reason why I want to the reason why I want to talk about quitting culture because I feel like this generation and in this day and age, we are so quick to just walk away from shit. The minute it doesn't suit us or is too hard to deal with. And I feel like that's whole shit. Because what we are teaching people, especially in the age of the internet, meme culture, which is a whole other topic we could discuss on Off the Rip or Speak Up Network, um, is that you see memes all the time about if something no longer suits you, get away from it, sis, or you ain't gotta fuck with me, I fuck with me. It's like this type of culture where people just walk away from problems as opposed to solving problems is very dangerous because it relieves accountability from the things that 9 times out of 10 you probably caused. Now, before I go forward, I want to preface my comments by saying that if you are removing yourself from a situation you have nothing to do with, nor will affect you regardless of the outcome, and you don't want to be caught in it and you just step away from it instead of trying to get involved, that's completely different. That is totally damn different. I have no problem with that whatsoever. But if you are involved in a situation, a relationship, a partnership or a dealing of some sort where your presence is not only necessary, well, is not only welcomed, but required. And the minute the going gets tough, per se, you decide, you know what? It's just easier to not be involved in the problem. I want you to understand that you are not solving the problem by walking the fuck away from it or backing out of said problem. I can't tell you how many women I know believe that the minute that something is not right, you should just walk the fuck away. That you don't have to deal with certain shit. It was like, that's true, but it's incomplete. You don't end the bullshit by just walking the fuck away from it until you at least identify what your role is in said bullshit. Take an abusive relationship for example. Now, I am by no means saying you should stay in an abusive relationship, but at some point, are you going to analyze what is causing said abuse to be A, allowed, or B, take place? What's your role in it? Instead, you just be like, this thing is abusive, I'm out. You go to your next relationship, and the abuse starts all over again. At some point, you have to figure out the common denominator in this bitch and make the proper adjustments. Instead of going, these people do this, or woe is me, I'm just going to be single. Now you face a whole new problem. Why the fuck you can't have nobody? When people, we're as human beings, we're creatures of ease. We love things that make us comfortable. We love things that are easy to handle and get through. We don't like hardships. No one enjoys hardships. But in any peace, any type of progression we achieve, it takes some sort of struggle, complication, an issue to overcome. You know, a need that needs to be, fulfilled to get to the goal in mind. And now we're in an age where people are no longer willing to do what's necessary to solve a problem and believe that a problem ends when they remove themselves from it. Let's say we took that logic and you got into a motherfucking car accident and you, I don't know, hit someone with the car. They die or are seriously injured, whatever the case may be, and you run away from the crime scene or drive the fuck away from the crime scene. You better remove yourself from being caught at that point if you don't get caught. But there's a problem that's been created at that point that has not been remedied, and you left. Let's say in a relationship, you're with a guy that makes, I don't know, maybe just 20% less than you. I don't want to relegate this to the ladies, even though I feel like ladies do this far more than guys. Because us guys, we tend not to, we take so much shit. Sometimes for reasons that make absolutely no fucking sense, but I digress. Let's say you're with a significant other, right? This is your person. You're with this person in a relationship, and they make 20% less than you for whatever reason. And you decide that's all the reason you need to dump them. Now, you are welcome to have your standards and requirements. Cool. But now, there's the perception that the minute something doesn't go your way, it's an issue and you need to just walk the fuck out. No need for compromise, no need for figuring out how this problem was created, no need in trying to figure out if this is actually a real problem. You just leave. And that's the way you choose to go about it. Because that shit makes sense. I don't understand. I feel as though people try to hide behind the excuse of I want what I want, and I'm not willing to sacrifice anything for it. Not knowing whether or not sacrifice is even remotely required to achieve the outcome you're searching for. You know, that always reminds me of the zero sum game. Shouts to Vosi for introducing me to that term a few years ago. When you believe that something has to be given up, or that you're going to lose something, or that you're not going to get something by doing what's required, I don't get that. You can't quit your job. You can do whatever fuck you want. Listen, do whatever you want. You can do whatever you want, but understand that the problems that you are facing are almost never removed by you leaving the problem, because it doesn't solve it. There's a lot of shit I'm going to repeat because I really want to drive the fucking point home. There's a lot of things that you will not solve by leaving the scenario where you leave it. If your kid's not eating right and they're malnourished and shit, your fucking logic as a parent shouldn't be, well, fuck it, I'll just give them to a mama. Well, give them to their mama. If they don't come over here, then they won't deal with that. Partially, but you don't know what adverse effects that has on another person you're not putting the responsibility on. And even still, if you say your children really like spending time with you, they want to be around you and shit, and it's like now all of a sudden they can't see you because you won't correct this one issue. Well, you solve one problem, but now create another one. That's another thing people need to understand. The removal of your absence from a problem leaves the problem there and creates a separate damn problem, potentially. And you're not understanding this because you're thinking about you. Removing yourself from situations is a really selfish ass fucking move. I'm gonna just call a spade a spade. It's selfish. It is selfish. AF. Okay? It's selfish. Bottom line. And more often than not, the people that you harm, if not just yourself, the other people who were involved in the problem with you. There's almost no scenario where walking away from an issue that you're a part of solves the issue. It doesn't. And there are many examples in real life situations where that doesn't work. Demanding pay raises, racism, all types of shit. Where let's say, oh, Fred, you're being extreme. How in the fuck could you use racism as an example? Okay, fine. Let's say this shit stayed segregated. Let's say we never tried to understand and break down why racism fucking exists. How much do you believe that the world would not be better off? Let me rephrase my question. How much do you believe the world would be no different than it is now had we not tried to make those steps and try to understand why this shit takes place? Why this shit is taught to folks? Exactly. Let's be honest here. In order to solve a problem, you have to be in the shit. You have to be involved with said issue to solve an issue. If your fucking car has an oil leak, you don't just abandon the damn car, because whoever gets the bitch next has to now deal with said problem. The problem's not fixed because you walked off. That problem is now being transferred to the next person that is unaware. And it's far worse if they're unaware versus you telling them about the problem. Because the first thing they'll look at you and go, well, why the fuck you ain't fix it? The fuck you gonna sell me a car with an oil leak? You ain't try to. It it makes no sense. It makes no sense. And we are popularizing just walking the fuck out. Quitting culture. Oh, it's too much. I don't want to do this. It's tiring. I'm too this, that, and the third to be involved. I don't gotta deal with this. I'm too good for this. Are you? Are you? Are you too good, too prideful to stick around and solve a problem? Does it require more effort than you're willing to give? Or are you just gonna bow the fuck out? That's how you give it up? Good luck in your next ventures with that type of fucking attitude. That ain't gonna get you nowhere. Let me see if I got this right here. Woo! Try not to sneeze, y'all, but like seriously, how does this how does this work for you? Why is this a thing? When did it become popular to give up? I think there's a false sense. No, I'm not gonna say false sense. I believe that the new knowledge that there's more than enough of whatever out there for everybody to not have to deal with certain shit makes it look like no BS is worth tolerating from anybody in any situation. There's enough monies, enough jobs, enough people to date, whatever it may be. There's enough options for people out there to not have to stick around and solve any problems that exist. What you don't know is that all you're doing is taking the unresolved issue to the new option. Let me say that again for the folks in the back. Like, did you know that when you don't solve a problem, you carry that problem on to your next option? Just because you walked out of one shit that didn't benefit you or wasn't to your liking does not mean that it's over when you move on to thing two or thing three, four, five, 6, 10. It don't work like that. Nigga, it does not work like that. You have to be willing to figure some shit out. And then if it's something that you are just incapable of correcting, despite your best efforts, then by all means, pull out. Pull out. But if you're not even going to try to solve the issue, and the minute you meet a brick wall, it's like, nope, fuck it, I'm done. Nah, I'm good. Nah, I'm done with this. Many of you people out there have a quitting culture mindset right the fuck now. Your license gets suspended. You don't want to go to the DMV, take the test, pay to get the points off of shit, so you just let your license be suspended for years. It's too damn much. People going through divorces who know they're not going to be with the person they with. Well, I'm not going to do by myself. I don't want to go through this, that, and the third. Nah. Fuck all that. Folks that are scared to go out into the dating world and keep going back to exes and shit because there's a familiarity and shit. Or I don't have time to try to get someone to get to know me, blah, blah. It'll take too much time. How the fuck do you know? Like, your assumption about the effort required to achieve the goal you want is what makes you fucking quit and not even bother with it. Tell me more about how that's working for you. Condescending Wonka voice, my nigga. Tell me more about how just falling back instead of trying to solve the problem is helping you in your next options, your future endeavors. Tell me how that's working for you. Y'all are so goddamn quick these days to just fall the fuck back and be like, this ain't my beef. I ain't got to deal with that. Not knowing that you are not eliminating the problem. Just walking out of it. You think the shit is okay because you have options. Yeah, nigga, you do. You have options. But how long are you going to keep those options? Huh? How long are you going to be able to maintain this new situation you just fallen into when you didn't solve the issue the first time? So when you run into a bump there, you want to keep hopping from situation to situation like a fucking ball on a word sing along or some shit? How does that work for you? Huh? Where's the progression in that? Where's the problem solving? Where's the elimination of the problem solving? Do you know the easy outcome of working through, past, and eliminating a problem that you have in a situation that you're in? That even if you choose to leave a situation after the problem is solved, guess what? It doesn't carry over to the new situation. Now it's enjoyable for everybody. The lesson being taken from the previous situation, especially if the problem was solved, could make the situation or scenario you're in more feasible for you to do, could be more enjoyable for you to do. Are you seeing the domino effect here? Like there's a pattern that stops. There's a thing that stops, and something beautiful can possibly begin. You have a much higher chance of something beautiful starting. You understand me? Like you can do that. But if you just keep falling the fuck back, pardon me, y'all. If you just keep, you know, falling the hell back, you get nothing from that. You get absolutely nothing from that. But y'all are content with being comfortable. The belief you'll be comfortable when you walk away, not knowing that that problem didn't disappear. Now wait till you run to your new scenario and you encounter the same shit or a new batch of shit you ain't fucking ready for or ready to work for. It just speaks really to your sense of entitlement about how easy you believe you should have shit, as well as, you know, how lazy you are. You're lazy. Just so you know. You're lazy as fuck. You're so convinced that everything from A to Z is not worth dealing with that you were just so quick to just walk the fuck away. Like that's the end of it. You do know it's not over, right? It's not over. Like you might have left that scenario, it's still not done with you because it resides with you. Hmm? Message! The issue resides with you. That's why shit hasn't changed for you. That's why you're still stuck here. Because the initial problem was never addressed. It's like, oh, I'm going to cut this person off. I ain't got to do that. Blah, 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 blah. What if you are really doing people a favor at times? Hmm? Because the people who tend to love to cut motherfuckers off tend to be the folks that initiated or carried on the problem. Hmm? You want to put that in your pipe and smoke it, my nigga? Like, you don't like that? Oh, you don't like that? You don't like that I'm telling you this right now, huh? Okay. Tell you what, fellas, ladies, next time you get into an argument with your significant other, sit down and have a conversation with them. Just sit down and converse with them. See if you can get to a resolution and then commit to real change and see how differently things become for the both of you. Or not. Haul ass as soon as they piss you off. Tell me what happens the next go around. Huh? I'd love to hear the stories. Because I see a very predictable outcome for both sides. I know what side I'm going to advocate for. I mean, but shit, I have an amazing fucking wife, so I mean, whatever. I believe that for some of you people out there, that the idea of working through something comes off as you being submissive to something you don't want to deal with. And that's not the case. You're not bowing down or settling for some shit because you choose to deal with it. You're choosing to deal with it in the sense that you are taking it out of the equation, not removing yourself. Two plus two equals four. You don't solve the problem of getting to four by taking out two and just leaving nothing there. Two plus zero doesn't equal four. Even if you stick an X in that bitch, two plus X equals four. You still gotta insert the solution. You are the X. You are the two. Whether you're two plus two, two times two, two squared, the answer is still two to get to the four. Are you picking up what I'm putting down here, governor? Huh? Man, I'm trying to solve problem now, isn't it? Yeah, that's sucks. I'll be an idiot. That's why it's fucking trash. That's all I got for y'all tonight, man. That just really bothers me. And it might not be appealing to those of you that are on that type of shit, but hey, that's real as fuck though. That's all it can ever be. I have been Federal Ranga. I am out. Find me everywhere at Magic City Mikes. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, youtube.com/Federal Ranga, and youtube.com/Magic City Mikes 305. You can like the Facebook page at Federal Ranga. Don't forget Ho Ho Out this Friday, where me and Moth want to discuss. Are you willing to die over this pussy? You're probably not. I would hope you're not. For real, for real. In the meantime, don't forget to tune in over here, Speak Up Network, which involves the Speak Up podcast. Off the rip, Ho Out Chill, Real Spill with Moth. Don't forget Black Heathens, if that's even going to be a thing. And don't forget the draft with me. I've been the biggest and holiest Federal Ranga. Peace.